Hello guys, my name is TheRussianBadger, and don't even start with the jokes. Like, I have heard all the jokes, and they are no longer funny. They were funny like twice, but when every single person that recognizes me in a lobby says, hey Badger, hey Badger, you're using the AUG, does that mean that you're like, augmented or something? I've heard it, okay? I've heard it. That one, and oh, the other kicker one, the other one that everyone likes to pull out of their sleeve is, $50 for Battlefield Premium? I never asked for this. I've heard every single one of the Deus Ex jokes surrounding Premium. They were funny like twice. But I also want to say thank you very much for correcting me on the bucket sizes of all those. You remember in this very stairwell, remember I asked how many pieces were in a KFC bucket, and actually some of you were employees and you guys went really thorough. Like, I know there was a Canadian employee at KFC, and some of you were in the South that gave me, what if you in the South gave me the most thorough answer ever? Be like, Badger, you can get an 8-piece, a 10-piece, a 12-piece. Be like, once you get that family bucket, that's when something bad happens. And I'm like, wow, I'm gonna take your advice on that one. But yet again, the AUG, okay, I have sort of a bone to pick with a lot of you that have been calling a lot of these premium weapons really... I don't get it. I don't get how everyone says, oh, Badger, this weapon's so good when you're using it on Team Deathmatch. And I don't know how this works. Okay, how is that possible? Rise and shine, bro. How is that possible? I shot a headless frog in... I don't get how I got a headshot on the headless frog. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but he exacts his froggy revenge about 3 minutes from now, and it is so it's like an entire topic that we have to talk about. But the 2%, no, I'm not talking about milk, I'm talking about actually, I think, okay, this is what I think it is. I think that, you know that 2% that we're all frustrated with, the guy runs away from you winning the gunfight with 2% health, has like a Carl number. Why would you even go down? Rise and shine! Why? I don't even know why people go this left side. The left side is so deadly, it's like a alley of tears. You're gonna die no matter what, and you're gonna have to cry your squirrel tears all the way down that alley. You're never gonna get down there. The right side is clearly superior. I don't get it. I just don't get why you would never just always go right. Always go right. It's much simpler. Not that you want to get A first, because then that just really narrows. Yet again, I don't get it. I just don't. Like, there comes a point where you're gonna die in there so quickly, why even bother? Like, what? It just makes no sense. As I get popped in the watermelon here by Mr. Leet Snipsore Cloth Monster poking his head out of that passenger side window is such a great... It's like clipping, you know, like you expose very little of yourself except for your barrel and your face, and it's really hard to hit you. Especially with the kind of recoil on the AUG. Which isn't that drastic, by the way, but I just wanted to say, I don't get it when people are using the premium weapons on like No Shark Canals TDM, which I played recently, by the way. If your gun fires bullets, it's good on that map, alright? Like, what is good on that map does not translate to anywhere else, but the lab was my main focus on this entire section of the map. Like, if you shut down the lab, you shut down their team, period, for the most part. And this is what I don't get about the lab. I don't get how a lav can almost be, like, it'll be smoking and flaming. It's clearly going to go down, but people don't get out. Like, why did you stay in that? That had like 23% health left. Why would you stay in that death trap? That's what I've just never gotten, why people don't bail out earlier. And I think there's some truth that I might bail out a little bit too quickly. Like, you guys have seen me in a helicopter, right? Where... oh, I just got hit by one bullet, I lost like 3% health, better bail. Like, I'm not quite that bad, but you guys know that I usually get out of vehicles a lot sooner than others. It's sort of debatable because sometimes you want to go down with your own vehicle. Rise and shine, bro! Sometimes you want to go down with your vehicle because, you know, obviously, if you die inside your vehicle, that automatically ensures that your enemies don't steal it. And we all know how deadly that can be. Like, for example, you guys know on Damavon Peak, for the last base, if the defending team steals your tank, you are boned. Like, that is the end of the game. Like, don't even try. That is, it almost just breaks that map. But overall, I think the patch has drastically increased the fun factor of the game. I don't know how many of you actually play this game for fun. I know it's like a huge filthy casual for saying fun, Badger? We don't play video games for fun. What do you... I know we all play this game for different reasons. I think a lot of us like to, you know, run around and knife people. Other people enjoy, you know, tanks and helicopters and everything else. Other people just like destroying others and having a jack KD, because that gets you unlimited girlfriends like Tiny Duckling. And this guy, I think he got a little sad that I got that on video, Vomit Hog, but that's one instance where, and I'll talk about this later, could have gone for the knife, didn't go for the knife, and we will talk about the knife later. It is, the majority of the time, just not worth it. But while I'm on these stairs here, I found it so hilarious. Okay, I was in this Skype call a few days ago. I don't know if you guys know who Mass Death is, but he's this tiny little Asian baby. He's like half Korean. And I'm never gonna, every time I see stairs, I'm just reminded of this now. Okay, so I was on Skype with him, and then all of a sudden, out of the background, I hear, Maku, come downstairs, ooh! And it's like his mom's Korean. I'm never gonna forget it. Like, every time I think downstairs, I'm always gonna think of him. And his mom ends everything with you. I thought that was like a stereotype, but it's not. Like, I'll just hear his mom randomly in the background, oh, Skanaru, Junguru, Asu. That's like all, his mom is so goofy, but you guys might think that I spam a lot with the Yogg, which is probably true, but you know what? Russian, bro. I'm still getting used to it, but at this point, I can't use anything but the A94. It's just too cash. And okay, I got Carl here. Way to try for the aim down sight. That is not the way to go, but okay, I heal all the way up, and I check which pistol I'm using, because I always forget, but I get this guy, and I stuck that 1144 beneath my... I think he tried to do like a backflip, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they've addressed this in the patch, but I'm pretty sure that when you do a backflip, your hip fire goes to like an awful range. So I think it's always a bad idea. And why? Why Carl? Carl, okay. Carl, I don't get it. Why would you ever run up the stairs and try to take somebody on with a bolt action? Is that the 50 cal, whatever the M98B is? Look at him. Why? Why do you not... Okay, I get one, and I get a... Headless Frog. I told you he would get his revenge, and he did. Look at this guy. 2% health. That is so frustrating. Like, okay, I'll give you another instance. I was on Karg Island. This just makes my blood boil. Like, okay, I get this guy. Like, get dunked. It's an easy kill. Easy kill. I still have, like, half my health in. I get one guy with a Magnum, second guy with a 44, and he scurries away with 2% health. Are you joking? I dunked him the first time, I dunked the cloth monster, I dunked the medic, and he just because he got revived, I have to kill the same guy twice. But it didn't work out because of the 2%, I died. That milkman. When I think of 2%, I think of the guy just running away. Like he just, with that maniacal laugh, like he's got this little milk mustache running away. That's what I always think of with the 2%. Almost like he's drinking 2% milk. Like, he just got revenge, and he's running away with this milk mustache and 2% health. Oh, it's so frustrating. I think what that stems from is, I think of a certain number, even if it's one. I don't know if it's one bullet or a few bullets, but I think if one or two of your bullets hit his legs, because it's the 0.9 multiplier, as in 10% less damage than torso shots, that's when, essentially, you get the 2%. If one of your shots hit his legs, and it's probably going to happen a lot of times with your hip fire, not other things, and accuracy, that's paramount, right? Despite the fact I still got the kill, and I don't know how this worked. Like, this is one of the things where I just got so frustrated, because you saw two guys over to my right side, and it's one of those ones. You know, one of those ones, I think, oftentimes where a lot of my rage just stems from is just where I think teammates are going to behave in sort of a logical fashion, as in, okay, I've got two teammates staring down this side of the street, as in this section of the sidewalk. I should be fine to look the other way, because they're going to have me covered, right? And then they just both die. That's something that sort of frustrates me. I think, yes, at the same time, I should have been at least more aware, and I probably should have not trusted your teammates. That's one thing that you learn in Battlefield. Like, a lot of your teammates are going to be really filthy casuals, and okay, as you see here, Kia was still lurking in the spawn. I don't know what he was doing, but dumped. And this is what I wanted to address. You guys are so goofy. Well, okay, some people insult when they recognize me and they insult. They do it really straightforward. Like, that's fairly straightforward if you ask me. You know, he's not fooling around. I completely understand and can absorb that information, and I understand exactly what he's trying to communicate to me, despite the fact I'm not really pleased with it. But other times, I'm just like, what? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, I got one gentleman. I get the second gentleman in the Arizona Ranger with the big iron on his hip. Look at that. Like, triple kill, and okay, despite the fact that I probably say that too much, and I probably shouldn't talk that much trash, but okay, he gets really sad on me. Like, look at this. That's one instance where I don't know what that means. I don't know. I stared at that for like an hour, and I still don't know what that means. And in case you guys didn't notice, I'm still very inaccurate as I get that, gentleman. Yeah, I got the headshot, but you can clearly tell I'm not going for that headshot. And I got a second gentleman before I move on. But overall, I want to say that I think a few of you know and a few of you don't know, but I got my name back. I just had Kia hold it for me. So I got my name back from Kia, and I still am the Russian Badger online. It was just weird not having the Russian Badger. But I get one gentleman, and oh, that mutual kill. Oh, it's so... I got killed by a flaming midget with a lucky headshot. That is just frustrating. And just so you guys know, I would definitely say that weapon that he's using right there, if you're going to pick the AUG, I would pick the M416 instead. It's somewhat similar. It's about 50 rounds per minute more in terms of your rate of fire, but it's very similar. I would definitely say the M416 is more favorable if you ask me. And I also want to speak briefly about assault rifles, but I did, in fact, like I said, get my name back, so I'm the Russian Badger online, but I'm probably going to tell you that it's not me. If you see me online, you're going to be like, whoa, and everyone says the same thing. Are you the real Russian Badger? And I really don't like it. I hate gloating, like, yeah, bro, I am. I'm some sort of authority because I have, like, a YouTube channel. That just, like, disgusts me. And the people that aren't humble online, I find it very aggravating. But I'm probably going to tell you it's not me. It probably is, but oftentimes I just say it's not me. It's just so you guys don't freak out. But it was weird not having the name. When I get the name back, it was so weird not having it. I almost feel like Deadpool. You guys remember that episode? Nobody calls me Badger anymore. And Omega Red's a bedwetter. Oh, man. You guys don't watch those cartoons, but those are actually very, very... Deadpool is just so much fun to watch. But this lurking spot, you guys know it's so cash. I've been here before. And, okay, this is what I want to discuss. From this range, I don't kill as fast with the AUG. Like I said, it's similar to M416. It's about 50 rounds per minute less, so it's somewhat medium range, but still the recoil is very bouncy and it's really odd. At this point in time, I think a lot of us are really looking for what the best weapons are. I have to say, in terms of the assault rifles, in terms of the medic kit or the assault kit, it's hard to beat the M16. And I only say that because, oh yeah, and a lot of you were going on about the Scar L, and yes, I get the Scarl joke. Oh, you killed a Carl with a Scarl. I find that to be very hilarious as much as you do, but the rate of fire is just too low. Like, premium, yeah, I gave you 2 new assault rifles, but the Scar L has such a low rate of fire. Yes, you can really just destroy people at range, like for example, I don't get this gentleman here, but you can easily destroy people at range, but once they run at you, you get destroyed. Like, you get killed so easily. It's not even funny because your rate of fire is so low. You know, all the assault rifles, with the exception of the G3, of course, have the same damage, and yet differing rate of fires. That's essentially who determines who wins. Like, if somebody runs up on you with an AK, an M16, M416, AM94, virtually most of the other assault rifles, they will dunk you if you're using a Scar L, and that's about the end of the story. But you can pick them off from range, like an AK-74M, so that's very, very good. But at this point in time, I just use this to use the AUG just to test it out, just to show you guys what I thought about it. But I still use the AM94 almost exclusively. Like, it's just so cash. It's so cash. And I just don't want to use anything other than the best. It's like, yeah, the man in the $6,300 suit is not going to use the AM94. Come on. Like I'm not going to use the AM94. It's just too good. It's too good. And I feel like a catfish when I'm using, like... Okay, I think we can discuss this now. A lot of you went on about the SPAS, like, oh, I bet the SPAS is the new best shotgun, and I don't agree. Like, although it might break your heart, and you're probably going to call me a catfish for it anyways, the Dow and some of the other semi-autos, instead of pump action, are way better than, like, okay, the automatic shotguns and, like, the Dow, you know, like, just pop, pop, pop instead of pop and then pump, you know, the pump action shotguns? Pump action is so much worse. Like, they're so much worse in, like, the majority of situations. You can argue about slugs and other things like that, but for the most part, like, I don't want to say semi-auto, because I guess they're both technically semi-auto, right? But the semi-auto versus the pump action, if that makes sense, semi-auto destroys pump action in the majority of situations. Just the majority. The SPAS is not anything special, if you ask me. But the engineers, okay, the engineer guns. And this is one, I think this is one opportunity to tell you about how bad the knife is. Or not how bad the knife is, but going for the knife is a bad idea. Look at this guy. Okay, I got my back turned, I turn around. Good morning, Carl. Way to go for the knife, bro. Way to go for the knife. It got you killed, and yes, those of you that are asking, there is a new knife for premium. It's like a Crayola box cutter. I don't even know what it is. Like, okay, I'm sneaking up on this guy, and... Give me yourself a dog! And it's... He did like a barrel over in the corner. That's dramatic. There's no need to be that dramatic. But it's not any better than the regular knife. And you see right there, I could have taken his sandwich, but that would have been a very bad idea because he easily could have turned around and popped me right in the watermelon. That would have been very, very bad. But you know what? The knife is not any better. And like I said, it's just like a Crayola box cutter. Do you guys remember those when you were like 12? You know, they're like Crayola safety scissors that are like orange? Yeah, it's exactly that type of knife, but it's like a box cutter instead. That's essentially what I think of. That's what it looks like to me. And you see, the AUG it's that very versatile assault rifle to me, but I still don't think that. And yet again, that fofo makes sure all your kids don't grow. I can't really say that it's better than an M16 or an A94. It's not dominating. And why I say that is just because weapons like an M16, I get another guy with a 44, but that's the flaming midget guy. I get another guy. I don't know why they're even poking their heads out. Like, I have a clear height advantage here that I'm just... Yet again, I just don't get it. I don't get how they even try to poke their heads out when we've got like 12 guys all in windows ready to just destroy them as soon as they pop their head out. I didn't have very good accuracy here, but like, for example, okay, weapons like the M16, it's got a high rate of fire and you can get it done at range. Very few assault rifles can say that. Like the AK, yeah, it got a little bit better after the patch, but it's still not dominant at range. Like, I will still dunk you. If you're using an AK and I'm using an A94, I will still destroy you. And I think we still have a lot to talk about the patch. I think that will be cleared up. Also, too, when Close Quarters comes out on Tuesday, I think I'm going to answer a lot more questions whenever you guys ask me. I don't know what you guys are going to ask me, but whatever you think I should be telling you about. And okay, in terms of the weapon guide is going to be on next Friday, just because I was going to do it today, but obviously you actually need some of the Close Quarters maps, and I think you need a game type. Yeah, you need a game type that's exclusive to Close Quarters to unlock the MP5K and some of those other weapons, so I can't even, like, I couldn't even get all the gameplay for a video today, so I have to wait until next Friday, obviously, because, you know, you can't get the MP5K without playing a game mode that is exclusive to Close Quarters. So I will see you guys next week. Hopefully hopefully you guys don't complain. This video ain't 30 minutes, bruh. And you might get a little bit sad on me, but okay, I will see you guys next time. Auf Wiedersehen bis bald. Your bonus clip is essentially going to be my frustration 90% of the time on any map where I'm carrying a team, which is a lot of the time. Like when I'm carrying and I'm clearly doing all of the work and my team gives me nothing in backup or any kind of support. Like, okay, when I sneak into the base with like 5-7 tickets left and I arm both MCOMs and you have a tank directly next to one MCOM and you don't defend it and they defuse it, that makes my blood boil. So that's, I know a lot of you ask me, what makes you rage in Battlefield? And it's like when my teammates don't give me any help, and I'm clearly carrying harder than they can ever carry in their entire lives. But that's what frustrates me. Hopefully you will understand after you watch this clip. Auf Wiedersehen bis bald und later. Thanks for watching.